New World's one of those games that when it's good, is good. And when it's bad, you better stay clear. So I follow along pretty regularly on the updates with what's going on because, like I said, when the game is good, when you're playing with your boys, running dungeons, running PvP, it's a lot of fun. But they haven't really released anything good lately, the past year and a half since their last big update, which was the Elysian Wilds. That was pretty fun. After that, they were talking all this hype and brought the game to console. Nah, I mean, good on them for bringing it to console, but that's not an update. That's not a seasonal, not even a season, like a bigger, like an expansion. No. Anyway, now that that's all done, they're showing us roadmaps, which can we trust it? Probably a little bit, but I wouldn't get your hopes up fully, There is a video. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. There's a video on the website. You can probably view it on YouTube also. Right here, there's a dev video. It's kind of long. The first 40 minutes is about the new season, which does not look good. So keep that in mind. I will not be playing Season 8. It looks meh. At the very end is when we get all the juicy stuff. So I'm going to show you guys right here on screen. So we got next season. There's a new OPR map. There's Capture the Flag 1 and 2 map. Their previews, Arena 3v3 map preview, which means it's only going to be on for a weekend and then it's going away. And then they said they're going to bring them back as seeing, because they don't want too many things going on in the game at the same time if there's not enough players to do them. So there's going to be a rotating mode, and if people like one more than the other, then they'll add that to a permanent list, stuff like that. The rotating mode is bare bones OPR, which literally is everyone is on equal playing ground. So if you're a new player and you want to jump into OPR, if you're really good at the game and people say you're only good because your gear is really good and you grind, well, now you can jump into this bare bones mode and challenge whoever you want. And if you're that good, then you should be able to beat everyone. They got the seasonal world, which is hardcore, and I have no idea what they were talking about when they were talking about it, because it says hardcore, which you would think, oh, you only get one life, but they said as you die, you get stronger. So it's opposite of hardcore. I have no idea. The long-awaited barbershop, how did this take so long? I don't know. Missions Unleashed, they said this was going to be an open world. Expedition bosses will be spawning in the open world on different periods throughout the season. And as we get further along, there'll be new bosses coming. And even when the season ends, this will be just a thing in the game that persists. So you can be on the lookout for that. Sounds kind of interesting. Just something to do with your friends, I guess. It's big battles. They're going to make the expedition bosses obviously harder. So it would be nice if the open world stuff scaled with the amount of players in the area, because it's just you get too many people and it is stupid easy. And if you have too less of people, it's stupid hard. So it's just scale it, We got combat / PvP updates. They were talking about the lock-on mechanics and stuff, and they're not entirely getting rid of them, but they're going to tone them back. Got new artifacts, perks, and seasonal events, which they kind of briefly talked about, one artifact. Yeah, I'm not jumping into Season 8. If you want to, you can. Now, the juicy stuff is what comes next. On the roadmap, it says in development. So this is what they're actively working on, and it'll probably, I don't know if it's going to be in Season 9 or Season 10. I would probably assume Season 10. Season 9 will probably come with some of this stuff, but I could be wrong. Who knows? So what do we got? We got a new zone, and they said this isn't a rework. This is a completely new area, new zone, and they're said it looks way different, feels different, so we'll have to see. I am excited. The zones, when they add them, even when they reworked the Elysian Wilds, that zone feels really fun. Brimstone Sands was cool. They're adding a new raid. They're adding a new weapon. They didn't say what the new weapon was, but they did show somebody raised up two hands, it's gonna be some type of two-hand, not two-hand weapon, but you can have a weapon in each hand, which people are assuming daggers. That would make sense. Either that, or there's maybe a double fist magic weapon, like lightning. I don't know. Who knows? We can only speculate right now. Another OPR map, raid difficulties, visual expedition mode with extraction. No idea what that means. They said something about, like, they kind of spoiled a little bit and said it was like an endless dungeon mode type thing. New PvP mode, like King of the Hill, I think is what they're saying. Pickup wars, which is just wars, but you can opt into like do them outside of the actual game wars. You know, you can just pick up wars with companies, challenge another company. In-game progression system overhaul. That's interesting, and I'm excited to see what they do with that, which I think that has something to do with the thing right below it called set bonuses. So I think those will kind of work together along with Umbral's V2, new heart runes, a zone level up. I don't know if that means they're leveling up all the zones or if they're just like reworking all the original zones a little bit. We got in-game reputation systems, customizable HUD, that'll be nice. Global storage, thank God. We've been waiting since the game came out for that. Attributes saved with gear sets, just a good quality of life thing. All the stuff in the in development section, I'm pretty excited for. It looks promising. I wouldn't get too hyped, but until they actually start showing it, you know, like the new zone could just be ass, who knows. But as of right now, like just reading through, it sounds good, of course. They wouldn't want it to sound ass. Now, in exploration, this is just stuff they're talking about, maybe prototyping. And this will be in the future. And they said some of these could end up in the in development one and come out with like the new zone and stuff. But let's read through that one. We got new weapons, ranked PvP, new raids, new zones. I feel like that's all just trivial. Like, of course, there's going to be new weapons, raids, and zones. Company hall with storage. That sounds pretty interesting. That would be exciting to have in the game. People have been asking for a company like hall for a long time. I don't know how the storage would work exactly, but it's interesting. Invasions mode with difficulties. New seasonal worlds. New seasonal world, of course. Now, this one's really interesting. Gardening and farming. I don't know how they would do that exactly. Maybe if they're bringing company halls with storage, maybe how they have, you can have like an instance house in the city or whatever. Maybe they'll have out of city instance housing where you see a plot of land and whoever has the highest score, it'll show that one. Unless you own it yourself, then you'll see it. And it'll have like a gardening, farming area and you can get cooking recipes and stuff out of it. No idea though. Obviously, they didn't talk about any of the exploration stuff. It's just written down. Inventory system overhaul. New exploration / collection systems. Okay. Zone level ups. Okay. That's just copy paste. Influence tower claim. Siege system with building. So building kind of reminds me of Elder Scrolls Online. Their big open world PvP thing. They kind of got a siege map with building. You can like rebuild it, not building, but rebuild it. Account wide progression. That sounds nice. New travel mechanics. Not sure what that means. That could be boats or flying. That's about all I can think of. When you look at the picture in the background, there is boats. So maybe the new travel mechanics is boats. 'Cause I don't think they would add flying. That just doesn't really make sense. All instance content available in matchmaking. Yeah, some pretty interesting stuff. I hope it all comes out to fruition. I think boats would be really cool now that they have swimming in the game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.